Today we're going to continue with the bathroom, but first a little bit of context because last week we were working and this weekend too. In previous episodes, you saw how my mom and I were laying the floor right in the middle of the house. That is, the arch separates the half-finished part of the house from the horror that's over there in that area. And once we had the floor in place, it was time for the fun part.
An abandoned house is the big mission.
I found a caravan you wouldn't believe.
Finally, home sweet home, right?
It took me 84 years to come here. It's a holiday, isn't it?
They should
Move forward a little later.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think? What? What's happening now, huh? Yes, up to where it is there. How does it look?
You all look amazing. You've really put in a lot of effort, huh?
After a few tiles that still needed to be laid, we officially had the floor finished and ready for work. The first thing was to remove the pieces and give it a deep clean. It's very practical, and that way we can tell them apart in a really simple way, and we can reuse these, but not these. These pieces are from Paygran, and they arrived a few days ago, so we're taking a break from installing the Paygran spacers. Wow!
That's amazing, that's so cool. Tomorrow take a...
Cha-na-na-na for elaborate wow. Amazing with two hats. For me? No, how cute. A keychain level. This is a amazing thing. I love these pieces. I think they're awesome. It comes in 1mm, 2mm, 3mm, and 5mm sizes, meant to be placed in the middle. Place one tile here, another here, another here, and another here. This way your line won't get off track. So you place it, and everything lines up perfectly, all at 1mm. And now, well... What a change. Please, look at how it looks now. Let's apply the grout, and now let's apply the grout. You're going to be amazed. Well, it's a bit messy, but it looks amazing.
With the tip now.
It will look incredible, it does. It's very well placed, as if it had been placed by two super handy girls who were deciding which one we were going to put, and we finally put this one because we loved it. These little specks it had, white and in different colors, gave it an original touch, even though the others were also super cute. But this one was the winner of our vote. Now you can see that overall it has the same tone, but those little dots that you notice more up close, not so much from far away, give it a super original touch. I've tried to make the color as close as possible to the tiles, and we're applying it right on the joint so we don't have to clean as much later with this little trowel. Honestly, it applies really well because it's made of rubber, so you just put it on the tip like this and go tap, 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 tap. It's very, very comfortable. The kitchen looks incredible with the new floor installed, even before the grout has been removed. The color combination is stunning. Honestly, the whole thing couldn't have turned out more beautiful. We're in love. Once the floor was finished, we're going to continue with the bathroom, which is what we were working on this weekend. The truth is, you already saw how my mother and I removed absolutely everything. We chipped away at the ceiling, took out the sink, and, well, in short, we removed absolutely everything. And this weekend we installed the shower tray. What happened with the bathroom?
The shower tray drain works perfectly, and the toilet drain does too, so the drainage problems are solved. It was something that had us on edge. Well, that's it. It's done now.
Okay, so the steps. We install the drain, do a small screed, and tomorrow we'll put the tray on top. As
Formwork for the siphon.
Then the tray on top was attached with polyurethane putty. And after that, we're going to put a small shelf here to place things. Basically the soaps.
We'll place the tray against the metal, and then the tray will go on top of it.
This is the shower tray, and look how it looks with the tiles. Such amazing sand colors. It will look beautiful when it's finished. We're going to stop to eat now because we're hungry. What's up? Here the table is sideways. It looks like a gust of wind came and is blowing it away. Potato hash. Do you need more shade here? That's why we need to think of something to give more shade.
A meter of land.
Drain check is crucial, as a malfunctioning drain can lead to serious problems. If not, since a shower likely uses more water than that. It looks so nice that I can already imagine it. Is it the good hand or the bad hand? Martine's hand? Is it the
Right one? What's happening with the left one?
I would remove the window because I see it as very risky that a stone or a heavy piece could fall later. For the shower tray,
Much more than if you put it.
it's risky, yes. When it comes to putting it on, there's no rush, but when it comes to taking it off, there is.
We're about to take a shower right now.
I'm so excited, huh?
The window looks huge, but it's a pity about the pillar, isn't it? That pillar, correct?
Well, and this turned out just like this. It turned out perfect, and here there has never been a window opening that shouldn't be here. And
It's not quite done. It could be better, but it's too fresh now. It might be too thick. Well, it needs to be finished.
we're discussing whether to install a tilt and turn or sliding window, and we're uncertain about the decision.
The problem with the sliding window is that it's too small for a sliding one. We end up with two tiny little panels. And we can't find a standard size. It's a must.
But opening it the other way works too.
It opens badly this way because the shower is here, and it opens even worse this way because it's raised.
The truth is, the ideal thing would have been to change the location of the shower. But it was impossible. Basically because the drain was right here, and the other drain we had was over there, but it was in the wall, so we would have had to break the floor. Anyway, a lot of damage. And even though it doesn't look like it, it was really more of a makeover, but now it doesn't look like a makeover at all.
The bare minimum. Many people ask us why it hasn't been relocated. And indeed, we wanted to keep the drains, especially the ones that are embedded, because that would have meant a lot more work. We made use of the water outlets, we made use of the drains.
It was really lucky to be able to move the cabinet that was right next to it and put it here because the bidet was there. But it's already done. Also, the shower situation was too complicated because we would have had to break things and install new fixtures. We wanted to use the existing layout as much as possible. However, in this case, we had to place it here. Is there an issue with the window? Yes, but you must find the best workaround possible, and that's it. Boots, tilt and turn window or sliding window? If you put
a sliding window, I don't know, the panels are going to look really small. I think tilt and turn is the best option. Well, let's look for it.
Yes, exactly. We have to think about the plan.
A like that. Plan B. Tilt and turn. Blocking the handle.
Exactly. Plan C, sliding.
Well, sliding, but sliding.
I'm unsure about sliding. It will result in very small panels.
I believe it will have small panels like this. Marco, Marco, Marco.
Okay, so let's look for alternatives. To install the shower tray, we're going to use polyurethane putty just as indicated in the manufacturer's instructions. Make a screed to level the floor and then stick it with the polyurethane putty. How beautiful, how beautiful. Oh my goodness. The quality and price are really good. And on top of that, this isn't silver like they usually make it. I mean chrome, but it's the same tone. It looks gorgeous. And now we are at the present moment with the shower tray installed. And today we're going to start with a wall that we need to build to install the toilet, which is wall mounted. Well, and this is the horror zone. We still have some work to do here, but it's less than last weekend because we have the shower now. I love how it turned out. Right now it's very dirty, but it's really good. Let me tell you what's new, what my mom and I have to do, because this week it's just the two of us and right now it's Wednesday. Because we've been doing other things outside, at the entrance and so on. So, are we going to continue with the wall we have to build here? We have to build this wall to cover this drain so that we can install the wall-hung toilet and run the drain up to here. Well, there's just a little bit left until vacation. I bought something and it's a portable coffee maker and it just made its first coffee. And this year we're going to Miami. And I just saw a video where the coffee was super expensive, like really, really expensive. So I said, well, for just over 20 euros, I'll buy it and try it. And if it turns out good, then it's actually a great invention. Not just for traveling, but also for camping. I'll prepare it and show you how it works, as it's really easy. It makes black coffee because I just put in coffee, nothing else. But if, for example, we put in a coffee with milk capsule, in case we prefer coffee with milk, then we'll have our coffee with milk. Do you want to try it? It's strong, it's concentrated if you want, so much like a coffee maker, honestly, it's for travel. Very good invention, very good invention. I told you that we had to try out the drainage system with a machine we had bought. It spins around and then it cleans and removes all the dirt that's in the drain, to see if they weren't draining because of that or because there wasn't enough slope. But the thing is, when we removed the shower tray, which by the way Ivan removed, we saw that the pipe was like this, they had bent it and it was like this, so it barely drained any water. But it was because the drain was pinched, so the main reason the shower wasn't draining was that, right? And as for the toilet, we're not really sure, but when we took out the toilet and poured several buckets of water and so on, it drained really well. There wasn't any problem, so at first the issue seemed to be with the toilet. That's really good news, because it means we don't have to adjust anything, we don't have to do anything tricky or absolutely anything at all. And even though the drains work well, in the end we decided to stick with the wall-hung toilet design, mainly for aesthetics and cleanliness. Another little thing I'd like to do today, but I'm not sure if I'll have time. It's this drawer that goes in here, so we have to screw it in here and here. Structure it in such a way to make a drawer, and this drawer will stay inside the shower. We've planned it this way so we can leave the bottles inside the shower and not have to keep putting some things away. Because with the window, we already have enough. That window is already quite annoying there, so on top of that, having to put little things floating around would be too much. So let's start with this part here, and if we have time, we'll continue with this one. And this one right here. Now we have to do the ones on the walls and the one on the ceiling, and then we'll move on to placing the studs. This wall is simple. Just ensure it's level and square with the one above, as any crookedness in the upper wall may affect the panel's alignment.
Like this or like that?
What a racket, I've gone deaf. Well, we have the basic structure, even though we still need to screw in 2 or 3 more screws up top, let's say. There are only 2 temporary ones, but let's ensure all is well. So let's take a stud, cut it to size, and place it with the level. Then we'll see if the wall is straight or not. As I was saying, if we don't place this correctly, the wall could lean forward or backward. We'll check it to ensure accuracy before making more holes. I won't make it too tight, or it'll be difficult to put in. 271. How nice. You can already see the bathroom. Really? You can already see it. Actually, you can't see anything, but you can see everything.
All the light pipes have already been covered up.
The most important thing is that everything is level. I don't know if it's at the right heights, but it's perfect. Okay, let's continue with the shower. We need to make the box for the bottles. My mom and I have been talking, and we think the best thing is to make it 80, in case you use a tall bottle, so it doesn't obstruct the window. So I was here thinking about how to place the panels. I said, okay, we start over there and place them, but then if we start over there, the panel ends up right in the middle of the shower, so that's not convenient. If we place the panel here, it lands exactly 1.20 m where the shower is. So the shower screen would cover this cut, the joint. The next one would be 1.20 m, which would fall around here. And then we leave this end with this piece, but it stays behind the door. This is for the shower area, so we would start by placing panels inside the shower, then for this side over here. What I would do is measure 1.20 m, which would be one of the panels that falls more or less here. What's left over I would put from the other panel, which is 1.10 m. But then we'll have to measure it very well so that this panel that sticks out isn't smaller and we don't end up with a tiny little leftover piece. It's a problem since none of the other walls are less than 120, so they'll all need full panels.
The only visible seam will be
this one here, which is behind the door, and this one here, which is in the shower screen guide.
Yes, drawer, floor, walls. I would first put these plasterboard panels, put the plasterboard panels here, and then we'll make the cabinet. By the way, the cabinet. We've changed the design a little bit because we thought that attached to the wall, it sticks out too much. If someone leans on it, it could be dangerous. You have to see how well this little machine works for making holes in the fence. If it doesn't detect anything, it doesn't beep. But for example, here where a pipe runs close by, the percentage goes up to 100%. The sun comes and goes, it rained all night, there was a downpour you wouldn't believe. But well, let's see if the sun comes out. Wow. 80, there you go, that's it. No need to cut it, now that's lucky.
Are you hungry?
Very hungry. father-in-law? Now I'm missing a hole because I had to cut it. This week marks 1 year since we bought this house. My mother was already making the plan.